It really meant for me to actually steal this, but I stole it. I'm feeling festive all of a sudden. Ching, 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 ching. Happy New Year. It's the last day of 2022. It's almost over. 2023. Okay, back to the world of Le Creuset. Now, we saw Le Creuset a little bit earlier ago, but not in cast iron. We're going to see them again, but again, not in cast iron. This is actually enamel on steel, but in colors that will match back to your classic cast iron pieces. This is the 10 quart, so it's a big boy, enamel on steel Stockpot. This is designed to be used on any range of heat sources, whether that is induction, gas, electric, ceramic, you got it all, old and new. High profile design, so think about your stock pots, think about your stews, big vats, look how I'm hugging it, this is how much I love it. Big vats of chili, meatballs, all can be done in here. Now this only presentation at this price, this month. The price goes away at the end of the day. It is $89.98. We've sold over 10,000 of these. It's $22.50 on your Easy Pay. Let's do colors first, and then I'm gonna bring Greg Shockley back in. This is your, is this cerise? I can't see. Okay, this is cerise, as they always say. It's cherry in French. There's the flame, what started it all, but only 150. There's Marseille, 5 dozen. And 5 dozen in the oyster as well. This gorgeous ombre color. They're so well known for their stunning, stunning enamel colors. Let me bring back in Greg Shockley to talk about why, how, like we're gonna use this pot, because I'm already in love with it just for the look, because Le Creuset is meant to be seen in addition to be used.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I was just garnishing up my chicken tortilla soup, my perfectly shredded chicken tortilla soup. By the way, you're very funny today. You're cracking me up while I'm sitting here with you. Yeah, yes, definitely.
Thanks.
But you're right. Oh, no, in a good way. I never said in a good way.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it.
So, you know, the stock pot. We've all heard of a stock pot, and why is a stock pot shaped made kind of like it is? Now, they're a little taller and less wide than you might think, because it's 10 quarts, right? Yeah. But what we want is when we want to come to a boil, or we want to be simmering our stock to reduce it so we get real intense flavors, we want all that heat. So we basically want the smallest part to be right on the heat source, so that we're getting 100% connectivity with the heat right there. And it's allowing it to roll and roll that liquid, that stock, that tomato sauce like I got over here, whatever it is. But it also, another thing, if you notice the interior kind of slopes down at the edges, so that, you know, a lot of times you're going to make a tomato sauce and it winds up burning because it's all stuck in those kind of nooks and crannies, and then a little bit at the bottom of the thing. Not going to happen this time. So we're going to go to school today. I'm going to show you real quickly. Cook your own food. Everything that you make, if you make your own stocks, your soup is going to taste better. Your sauces are going to taste better. Your chili is going to taste better. Super, super easy. So today we're just going to make like a chicken stock broth. Broth is made with meat. Usually stocks are just made with bones. I'm using both. So Julia, all we're going to do is we're going to add mirepoix, which is simply onions, carrots, celery. We're going to add some herbs.
The Holy Trinity.
I got some mushrooms in there. Yeah, the Holy Trinity, exactly. And I love mushrooms too. So if you have some mushrooms laying around, go for it. And Julia, all I'm doing is I've got some chicken leg quarters here that I got at the store. You know, pretty inexpensive. And we're going to make the best stock you ever did. And you don't have to do anything except for just kind of set it onto your stove and allow it to reduce. And, you know, by allowing it to reduce, it does just that. But what it does, it takes something that you might taste at first and go, oh, you know, it tastes chickeny, but not really. But if you give it another hour and it goes down another inch or so, or maybe 2 hours and goes down 2 more inches, you've got a super, super rich, flavorful sauce. So now I'm adding a little H2O here. Now you want to go about, you know, 1 inch from the top. And then we're going to add some salt and some pepper. And we're going right to our stovetop. Okay. So I'll end the tutorial right there, and we'll get down to some food. So I just made some stock today, actually yesterday, and I finished it off today. I made some chicken noodle soup. Oh. We all love chicken noodle soup, right? And this is certainly the time of the year for that. Now, the chicken that I actually made my broth in, I shredded all that chicken meat from there. I added some extra herbs, and just look how delicious. Now, you can tell just by the color of that broth that it's going to be just So flavorful,
It's
right?
gonna be
Because kind of the darker
rich.
it is, the more rich it gets and
Mm-hmm.
flavorful. It's just like, my whole house smells absolutely
Oh
amazing.
my gosh, I bet. I'm jealous. All you guys and all your tasty treats. Some jelly over
I know,
here.
isn't it fun?
Can
I
you
know.
hear my tummy rumbling through my microphone? Because it's happening. Before we move on, I have to do colors again because I know there's
Yeah,
so
go
many
ahead.
Le Creuset collectors. Or maybe you've been looking for a long time, and I know some of the cast iron could be a little bit on the pricier side. This is that enamel on steel, a little bit lighter as well as, in
Yeah, for
comparison
sure.
to that cast iron, but these are the same colors. So maybe this is where it's in your budget to start the collection or add to. This is the cerise, means cherry in French, only 250. Look at that gorgeous ombre color. I kind of want it. There is flame, only 140. Marseille down to 50. I actually do have a couple pieces in Marseille. And
So
then the
beautiful.
oyster in the 4 dozen. Oh, you sold out of the color that I really love, or that I collect mostly. I mostly collect the meringue. I love the meringue. But maybe I need like a fun pop of color, because this is what's great about Le Creuset. It is meant to be seen. It's meant to be like kept on your
Def-
stovetop because they're
no
real
doubt.
heirloom pieces.
They really are. I mean, they complement almost any kitchen, no matter what color you have. And
It's
I'll tell you
true.
what, if you have multiple different colors, it doesn't matter.
Nope.
It's like Creuset. This is stuff, you want to put it on the counter so you remind yourself to use it every single
Yeah.
time. So you're cooking with the right stuff. Now, I've got a tomato sauce that I had right here. I cooked this for about 7 hours. And again, this is one of the things that I think a lot of people can relate to, because, if you walk away for maybe a half an hour, next thing you know, or 40 minutes without stirring it, every 15 minutes,
Yeah.
it's going to burn. Now, if you did notice inside of the stock pot, we've got our sand enamel interior, which a lot of you might have seen in our cast iron
Yep.
products. Now, we do that on purpose because what that is, that's just an easy release material that we want. So you're not going to have any sticking. You still need to stir your sauce because you're going to be cooking it for a long time. And usually what sticks, tomatoes have a lot of sugar in them just naturally, and they'll tend to kind of want to caramelize on the bottom of your pan. So you want to give this a stir. But again, since we have that rounded bottom, you're going to be able to just use a simple spatula to get every little bit off of there. So you're turning it, great. But also, since this pot is the taller one, your food is just going to naturally want to keep going up and down, and that is what's going to give you that real intense, rich flavor. So, when you cook your tomato sauce for the 4 to 6 hours to really bring out the natural, wonderful flavors of those tomatoes, this is the right vessel for you to have. And let's not forget the lid too. I don't think I have the right one. Oh, by the way, here's your meringue color, which I'm hiding over here because they're not having. But notice we've got the phonetic handle right on here. So on your stovetop, you're still going to be able to grab the handle. It's not going to get hot for you on your stovetop. There you go. And then you pointed out too, if you have some of our other pieces, or cast iron maybe, all the colors are going to match. So your Marseille is going to be an exact match for the cast iron, just because this is on steel. And I love the fact that on the top part of here, just notice we have that exposed stainless steel rim around there. So the design is always there too, so aesthetics. And then the handles follow that enamel color.
I love that the lid is domed, because then you can get that
Yes.
steam moving through. You can really fill this pot to capacity and have that room to let it boil and really like create and develop those flavors. So I think that's a really cool point.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. And now look, you may say, okay, yeah, you can make a stock in almost anything, but to get a 10-quart maybe Dutch oven that we would have, it would be this big and this wide, Julia, because
Right.
we only want the Dutch ovens to be this high. So there's a reason in a whole development and engineering why we wanted the stock pot to be at 10 quarts. I mean, believe me, there's a lot of professional stock pots. I have 50 quart and 60 and 70 quart ones that are this big. I can jump in them, I think. But for most households, think about it, you're going to probably wind up with 8 quarts of beautiful stock of stew. And if during the holidays, if you want to make some apple cider in here and just put a ladle in there and float some apples and some cloves,
Ooh.
you can make hot chocolate in here. So
That's a lot
these
of
are the
hot
perfect
chocolate.
things for any of your liquids that you want to cook.
Right.
This is the vessel to go for.
This is so good. I also love, by the way, if you're thinking about storage, this can nestle down upside down.
Yeah.
If you want, as far as storage, you don't have that extra height of a couple inches. So if you're thinking about that, if that's a concern of yours, you get that as well. It is a 9.5-inch diameter, just so you know. And again, am I correct in saying that this works on all stovetops?
Yeah, it sure does. It works on your induction, your gas, your glass. No matter what cooktop you have, it's going to work on them. And Julia, too, if you're thinking about shredding some chicken. Like I made a chicken tortilla soup, like I said, right at the open here. What I did, I love the fact that it's so easy because everything just goes into the pot.
Yeah.
I put my tomatoes in there. I put my stock in there. I put chicken, and then it just naturally, I use boneless chicken, but you can use bone-in. I just took that and it shreds all up. You just use some tongs and it does all the work for you.
Okay, so colors one last time before we move on. This is cerise.
Okay.
About 200 remain. Flame, 130 now remain. Marseille, 3 dozen. And oyster, about 30 left. The price goes away at the end of the day. Only day this month presented at this price. It's a $22.50 easy pay for the Real Deal and Le Creuset. Greg Shockley, it's so nice to see you and have a happy new year.
Thanks, Julia. Hey, you too, and happy New Year to everyone out there.
We'll see you soon, my friend.
Okay, see you. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. See ya.